Hello and welcome to another Solidworks tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to see how we could build a wheel, something like this, that would go onto a scooter. This will be the back wheel of the scooter. Eventually we'll build the whole of the scooters, and what I've done here is I've created grooves, and really the groove is based on these bearings. I've seen it on RS website, and so this is kind of like designed to manufacture. So I'm looking at the real part and then designing my part based on real parts. The diameter of the bearing would be 26 and the width of the bearing would be 8, and we'll see how we build this. Okay, so to build this, all I've done is I used 4 steps, 2 extrude, 1 revolve cut, and 1 mirror, and so hopefully it will be straightforward. And what I've done here is really, if you think about it, is 5 circles. So there's 1 circle, there's another circle, so 3, 4, 5. So it's based on 5 circles. So I'll draw these 5 circles to start off. So the way I will do this is I'll go to new parts, okay, and what I'll do is I'll go to sketch, tab, go to sketch tools, and then I'll select the front plane, and you should see this normal to view, so that you will see your UCS in front of you. If it's not in front, if it's set like this, tilted to some sort of position, click on to normal to. If you don't have normal to in your screen, and then you need to go to this icon and select normal to, or Control 8. Okay, so it's 5 circles, and there's 1 circle, and the radius is somewhere, the diameter is 70, so 1 circle, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There you go. Now those are the 5 circles. So I would go and do some create some dimensions. So there's a smart dimension, or you could do right click smart dimensions, or you could also type S in your keyboard and you get these shortcuts and the smart dimension. So smart dimension, this 70, this would be 65, and I'll bring this out again. This would be 30, and that would be 25. So I'll bring the 30 out, the 25 out, and this inside, this would be just 20. Okay, so those are the 5 circles. And to create these stars, what I would do is I would go to line, from the quadrant to the quadrant, and I'll select that line and I'll convert that into construction line. So it's a dotted line. And what it means is Solidworks will ignore this when it comes to certain features. Then I'll draw a line from somewhere here to that point, and I'll put some dimensions to make it easy. So I'll put this 3.5. The angle of this should be around 8. Then I need 1 on this side, so instead of drawing another line and then putting the dimension, I'll use a tool called mirror entities. So select that, and you say I want to mirror this, and then mirror about that line, so that's the center line, and you say OK. Now if you look at our star, we got 6 stars. So in order to create 6 stars here equally spaced, we use a tool called circular sketch pattern, which is under linear sketch pattern. So that's a circle, and that will be kind of like arrays with columns and rows. So we want the one which is circular. So you click onto the circular, and what is asking you under these parameters is to select what you want to array. So in this case I want to array this and these 2. By default we have 4, and you could have more than 4. In our case we want 6 of them, and we say OK. And that's it really, more or less. So that's the sketch is completed. And so we say exit the sketch. Now when you exit the sketch, if you click once, you see blue, and so when you go to extrude the features, it would be easier to select what you want to extrude. But sometimes by mistake you will click twice and it becomes gray, and if it's gray, what it means is you need to activate this again. And to activate this, you could actually select this and then say extrude, and that will activate. Or you could do extrude, and you come and select this plus sign, and you come back and select the sketch. So whichever way, but it's activated. It makes it easier. And then it says here selected contour. So we are going to select this contour, this profile. So these are the profiles I want to extrude, including this circle and that circle. Note that I'm not selecting the inside circle. I'm going to leave that for next steps. Now what Solidworks want to do is want to extrude this one direction. So it says direction blind. We don't want, in my case I don't want to extrude one way. I want this to be in mid-plane. So half of it will extrude up and half of it will extrude downwards. And it says 10 here. So 10 works out the overall, not half 10, half 10. No, it's actually overall is 10. And in our case, overall should be 25. We press OK. And that's it. Now for the inner circle where we put our bearings, what we do here is what we do here is we select, can you see where it says sketch 1, and there's a symbol which is a polygon symbol, and later on is going to change to different symbols. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to select that sketch and I'm going to say I want to extrude. So select the sketch and extrude, because I already got the sketch. Solidworks will ask me what do you want to extrude, or the contours, and I'll say this contour. And now Solidworks remembers the previous input, which was the 25. So in my case I want this to be 10, but also I don't want blind, I want this to be mid-plane, so that it goes both direction, which is, that's how we started with this the overall shape. And we say OK, and there we are. So the next step is to create this cosmetics looks, and also it reduces the weight of the part. So to create this, I'll use oh yeah, do you remember previously we didn't have that hand? It was only a polygon sign with a circle inside. Now we got this hand. The hands indicate to me that that sketch is being used somewhere else, so for different features. So in this case we had first extrude boss, only extrude 1, and we never had that hand, but now the extrude 2 is based on that sketch. Can you see that? And that's why we have that symbol. So it's just to remind us that this sketch is being used somewhere else in terms of the features. So remember the size of this. This was 30 diameter. Okay, it's important we remember that. So the next thing is to create that, to create this profile. I don't know what happened to this. Oh, okay, that's better. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to look at the planes. So I could choose either right plane or top plane, so one of them. Select and say sketch and normal 2, and this time I'm going to click on to visibility, and then I'll make it a wireframe so that you could see what I'm going to do. First I'm going to draw a center line from the center going down. So this is going to be my axis for later on. So if I rotate this, you will see I've just drawn a line. The next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line somewhere here. and I'm also going to draw an arc. So starting from, nope, so I don't want to actually attach it to anything. So I'll select somewhere here. There's the arc, and what I'm going to do is the dimension from here to this center should be 15. Why 15? Because remember, that's diameter of 30. Sorry, this is the diameter of 30. So I really want to stop right at the edge of this circle. So that's 15. Now if I draw a line, you would see what happened if I draw a line and make this line into construction. Can you see that arc is dipping? And if you don't want that arc to dip, you have to create some sort of relationship. So you need to right click, add relationship between whom and who. So between this guy and this arc. So I want a relationship between this and this. And SolidWorks work out between these two lines. The only relationship you could have at the moment, it would be tangent. Okay, sorry, phase 1 should be deleted. So between the line and arc should be only tangent. Can you see that now another relationship has been added to the list between these two, which is fixed. But I don't want to fix it. I want this to be tangent. So release the tangent. Good. So there's a tangent sign, so you could see. Now if I want to move this sometimes, what I could do, it's better to actually give it some sort of dimension. So from that point to that point, maybe 30 or maybe 35, I don't know. Sorry, 35 will be the whole thing, isn't it? So in this case, maybe 32 or maybe 33.5. It's entirely up to you. And this line, the height of it may be 3. Yeah, so that's more or less the profile. But one thing we need to do is make it a loop. So I need to draw a line from there to that point, and now we have a complete, if I actually go into here, we'll see. So I have a complete loop, closed contour, and I've got my center line. So I could use the revolve cut. You see, the problem is at the moment is actually probably going to even cut through this this circle. So maybe change that from 33 to 30. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, so once you are happy with the shape, you exit the sketch and you go to features. This will be cut revolve because we are going to revolve this, and the two lines are selected, so it's easy. So cut revolve, and what SolidWorks want to know is it could work out the profile. So in this case, because that's a closed loop, but he wanted to know, SolidWorks wanted to know where is the axis. So for axis, we say we come and select this again, and what SolidWorks is going to do is it's going to cut this profile, and when that profile is cut, we end up something like this. That's good. Okay, so we want to duplicate this onto the other face on this side, and the best way to do is first of all find out the front plane, and that front plane is going to help us because that's going to be the center of this shape. So I do right click on that front plane and say show me. So I want to see this plane. That's all. And now there is a tool called mirror. Do you remember we used mirror actually to mirror this side of the line to this side? So it works in 3D as well. So we say mirror, the first thing it asks me is to select a face or a plane. In this case I'm going to always select the plane, and it's asking me to mirror or to select the features. And the features in this case would be the extrude. I could go, the revolve cut. I could go and select the revolve cut, or I could come and select this, which is the revolve cut. Doesn't matter which way you select, and that will appear on the other side, and you say yes, and now we have on both sides the features. And what you could do is then park this isometric view, select that front plane and hide, so we don't want to see it. And if you are happy, what later on you could do is you could add some sort of flit here. Maybe the flit value would be 2, or I don't know, if you want to. And, there you go. So one side I've got that flit, the other side got that sharp edge. Anyway, the whole idea was to show you how you create this wheel. And then of course there will be other videos. Eventually we'll build the whole scooter. Thank you for watching.